What's up, everybody? I'm Matt.
And I'm Beth, and today we are in the 2020 Hyundai Sonata Limited.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a full deep dive review here on the interior. If you'd like to hear all my thoughts on how this drives, I already did a vehicle review on the launch program. You can watch that. And I also will have a video talking about my week with the Sonata here that we've just been driving around all week. And I will link those videos above and also in the description. But yeah, so it's a very nice interior. I love this gray and like caramel colored leather. I think it's just nice that they're starting to include more color in manufacturers' interiors, and it looks good to me, especially with the little metal accents and things like that.
It's definitely nice when you just hop in the car, and it definitely feels, the seats feel really cushy.
Yeah, and these seats are pretty supportive. They're obviously about the same as other mid-sized family sedans where they're not too sporty, of course, but most people that are buying these don't want that. The N-Line version that I did do a quick drive video on last fall, that will have sportier seats. But these are really comfortable. They're also here in the Limited heated and cooled seats, and Hyundai does excellent cooled seats as well. I experienced this out in the desert last fall. They work very well in the cooling mode, and here now that it's kind of colder in Pittsburgh, we've had the heat on, and they've done a great job of keeping us nice and warm as well.
Yeah, the one thing I do have to say is it has this rocker here that you can turn it up and down. You have to turn it up for the heat, and then you have to turn it down so that it will turn on the ventilated seats. Now, with the heated seats, and I'm sure maybe the ventilated seats as well, it will automatically start turning them down after a certain period of time. So just know, if you are somebody who likes your seat hot all the time, this might be a little bit of an issue, but it's not that big of a deal to hit the rocker up one more time and set it up a little bit higher.
Yeah, and another thing that I think you mentioned earlier was that it also, you know, it starts off as at the first level. So you actually have to hit this rocker button 3 times in order to get the top heating right off the bat. And usually with other vehicles, the first time you hit the button, it goes full blast, and then you hit it more times to get lower heat. This is the other way around. So it just, if you actually want full heated seat, you got to hit it 3 times. But I like the rocker switches, and so personally, it's not a big deal, but it is an interesting difference compared to the other vehicles out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Next, though, are the steering wheel here in the Sonata, which is a really nice wheel. I think that a lot of people thought the design was a little funky. I personally don't mind it. I think it's unique and has a great 9-3 grip still. Nice 10-2 notches. A few buttons here on it, but it's actually nicely uncluttered as well. You even have these little metal plated paddle shifters on the back, which is a nice touch. And I even was impressed when I first saw this, how Hyundai even went to the trouble of doing this like diamond knurling design on the plastic edges of the turn signal and wiper stalks, which is really going the extra mile. Like no one in the auto industry redesigns their whole wiper stock and turn signal stock for a new vehicle. Like, it's always the same parts bin thing for every company for the past 10 years, and the fact that this is new is really impressive. And it's a small thing, but it's something that shows they really went the extra mile with the new Sonata here. The gauges are also very nice. So this one being the Limited, you do get these digital gauges. It's a 12.3 inch digital display, and it's really great. And thankfully, it's not reserved for just these higher trims, though. You can even, in the SCL model, get it as part of an option package. So if you want digital gauges, it's not out of reach, for most buyers. And so it's a really good setup. It's very attractive. There isn't a ton of customization. I do like how when you go to the different drive modes, you will be able to see that it goes like red backgrounds there and different fonts and things like that. And I do appreciate that it is a decent amount different. You know, some of the customization you can see, like tire pressure monitoring and things like that, but there isn't any way to show like your audio in there, which is a strange exclusion since previous Hyundais had that in this center cluster there. I still wish there was a little more customization, but overall still really great. There's also a heads-up display here in the Limited model. That is something that I believe it is exclusive to the Limited, and it's nice. It'll show you just your speed and your blind spot information. That's about it. I'm personally not obsessed with heads-up displays, so it's something I could easily live without, but these gauges are definitely a nice upgrade. Coming over to the center of the dashboard here, you have this 10.25 inch widescreen display, which is really great. It's the same thing that's in all the new Hyundai and Kia products, and I like the 3 zones you have here for it. And you can customize those with different widgets. So like this one is set up so you're always showing weather, but you can also have, you know, phone contacts or other things there instead if you'd like. And it's a very quick responsive system. It's very easy to use. That's what I really appreciate. Just a quick swipe, you know, to go over to, you know, more detailed menus if you'd like. but I really love the way this is set up. I don't love the fact that you have capacitive touch buttons here, so it's a little more distracting to try and land your finger on those while you're driving. You do have a volume knob, which is great, but unfortunately you also don't have a tune knob, and the seek and track buttons are all the way over here and capacitive touch, so really not great. Thankfully you can't skip tracks here on the steering wheel, but not a great thing there. But that is only with this 10-inch screen. If you go for the lower versions of the Sonata, you get an 8-inch screen, and that does give you a tune knob again, and it's also less of a reach since it's a less wide setup. And so if you must have a tune knob in your Sonata, then just go for that lower screen and then you'll have that. It's also got standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto too.
Also, being a passenger, it wasn't super easy to turn up and down the volume, including when I did want to turn up the volume or even down, and my one finger accidentally pressed the star. The star sends you to the sounds of nature, which are very exciting. In the sound of nature, you do have different modes like lively forest, calm sea waves, rainy day, an open air cafe, or a warm fireplace, just like the Tesla has. You even have a snowy village, so if you feel like you are driving and want to hear somebody walking through the snow and that's very comforting to you, that will be a great sound of nature to listen to on your daily drive to work. I mean, I like to walk through the snow. Don't know if I like hearing walking through the snow, but it is, I'm sure, a very calming thing for some people who would want that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a strange thing. It is a little soothing, honestly, though, having the lively forest on. So, I mean, maybe it's, something some people will enjoy. I think the main thing that serves as a purpose is the fact that you can show off this Bose center point stereo, because it really sounds high quality whenever you have these very high quality recordings that are playing of nature and stuff. It really showcases this 12 speaker Bose stereo. It's got a 9-inch subwoofer and it sounds fantastic. I haven't sampled the bass Sonata stereo to compare, but I think if you're into music, you're going to want to go for this Bose system. It is actually available even on trims as low as an SEL trim with an option package. So again, you don't have to go up to some $34,000 Sonata in order to get this Bose stereo. You can get it in a vehicle that's under $30,000. But even listening to Bluetooth audio on it and stuff, it sounds very, very high quality and sounds good.
Coming back to the volume knob, it was very funny to be turning it and have my finger accidentally press it because I wasn't even trying, and to have the lively forest in the cabin here.
It was pretty funny when it happened. So if you do program a favorite with that star button, just make sure it's something you don't mind accidentally hitting. So just a funny thing there. But overall, yeah, a really great infotainment system though still.
Going through all the settings, you do see that there is ambient lighting. I love ambient lighting. There's plenty of colors that you can choose from, and you can also go straight to the color wheel and choose whatever color is your favorite.
And yeah, it extends onto the doors here even, as well as being across the dashboard there. It's not a ton of light and it's not super bright. That is one thing, but I mean, it's a really nice touch and something that some of the others might offer in very limited capacities, but I think this is kind of taking it to the next level and giving you more ambient lighting than most of the competition offers in this class. Coming down, you have your climate controls, which we mentioned with the rocker switches, and you also have these nice knobs and a very simple and attractive setup there. As far as storage space goes here in the Sonata, it's very good. They did a great job. So, I mean, right underneath the climate controls here, you see this large bin that has, along with it, a power outlet, a USB jack, and then one also for charging, an additional USB jack there. So you have two out in the open, and a nice large bin.
There is the wireless charging pad too, so if all of your USBs are used up, you can put your phone right there if it is wireless charging compatible.
Yeah, or even if you just don't feel like plugging it in, you just drop it there and you're good. Unfortunately, wireless charging pads still are pretty slow to charge these days, so if you want to get fast charging done, I recommend still plugging it in, but if you want to get a few extra percent or something, dropping it there's a nice thing. There's also two cup holders here and another little slot for a phone holder. You also have pockets in the doors with a bottle holder, and there's a center armrest, which is got a little bit of padding to it, but kind of firm. You open that up though, and you'll see a pretty deep cubby. You can easily fit all kinds of stuff in there, but no additional hookups or anything in there.
There is this side pocket on the center console, which is actually pretty big. You could fit a few things in here. It's still small, so you can't fit your purse or anything, but you can fit your phone in there. And also, one thing I really like is that on the armrests here, there is a little pocket there. I love fitting my phone into there, and there's so many companies that don't actually have a little pocket there. It's more of a hole, so it goes straight down to the side pocket on the door. So it is very nice that my phone can fit right there.
I will say though, in regards to the center tunnel though, I'm still upset that this is hard plastic, and resting my knee on there, my knee does come in contact with this if I'm using cruise control or something and resting my leg, and it's just like resting on hard plastic. It's just rock hard. I still think, aside from Mazda, no one else really pads this either, so I can't fault them for it, but especially on this limited trim, it really would have been a nice extra touch if they just had a little bit of padding here for the driver and the passenger. I think that'd be a nice thing. Aside from that, everything else in here feels very luxurious, though, and very impressive.
Also, we do have this panoramic moonroof, which is really nice, and I love these roofs. I love how it brightens up the cabin. I don't think I will ever not have one on my own car, so I think that it's pretty cool to have.
It's a nice option. It's also it's automatically included here in the Limited, but it is also something you can get in the lower trims as part of an advanced package, I believe, as well. Backseat space here in the Sonata is also very good. They did a great job of making it a little bit roomier back there, and so I'm 5'9", me sitting behind myself. I easily have, I'd say, about 5 inches or so of legroom to spare back there. I mean, it's a very spacious back seat, and it's very comfortable as well. A good amount of headroom. Whenever you look forward, you'll see air vents back there, as well as an additional USB jack. It would be nice if there was two, but having the one is nice. There's also pockets in the doors with a bottle holder and a fold down center armrest with 2 cup holders built into it, and so overall a very comfortable back seat. Trunk space is also nice and large here in the back of the Sonata. I mean, just as much space as I think most of the competition. It's a very wide and a very long space. You can also fold down the rear seats there if you want even more space, and so overall no complaints as far as the trunk goes either. But yeah, so that's it as far as everything here in the interior of the new Sonata. It's like I said, a very impressive place to be, very high-tech feeling with all the features you have in here. If you watch my previous review, you also know it's got a digital keys. You can use your phone as the key and all these types of things. So all that combined with all the tech features in here, it gives you a very high quality and a very high-tech feeling interior, especially for this class. But yeah, so that's all our thoughts here on the interior. Let us know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care.